Student athletes that are in the Schaefer Sports Hall of Fame. It's time for Sun Devil Extra. Braden Bell joined alongside Arizona State AD Graham Rossini. And boy, another fun, exciting weekend. Homecoming in the books. Exciting stuff. How are you, Graham?
That was last week?
Somehow.
Homecoming?
Yep.
Wow. It's only Tuesday, right?
Something like that.
We're watching this on a Wednesday, maybe a Thursday.
Right. Yep.
Stretches into a Friday if we're lucky.
Sometimes.
YouTube algorithm for the win.
That's why we don't date these shows. They are evergreen.
That's good. A lot of winning between homecoming and today, so that was good.
We're going to dive into that on the show today. We're going to be joined by Matt Thurmond and Fifa Laopakdee from the Sun Devil men's golf team. Plenty to talk about, but first we dive into Sun Devil football, of course. And it seems like that is the story of the season, really the past 2 years. When it's a one-score game, more times than not, this team comes away with a win. Same thing happened on homecoming, 25-23. Another dramatic game, went down to the final possession. Keith Abney with the game-winning interception. Jesus Gomez with the game-winning field goal right before that from 49 yards out. And another phenomenal atmosphere as well to boot.
Yeah, Keith Abney, Barrett Scholar, by the way.
Yeah,
Fun
Scholar
facts.
Baller.
Scholar Baller. Jesus, Jeff Sims, and Jordan Crook, all with Big 12 Player of the Week honors. I think that's the trifecta, right? You get offensive, defensive, special teams.
Yep.
What other awards do they give out? It's kind of a clean
Student
sweep.
section of the week.
That was good.
I guess.
Oh, that's right. We didn't get that one this week.
We could nitpick all day if we wanted to.
11 a.m. game, right? They were busy at the parade.
Yep.
That was good. It was a good day. Yeah, I mean, what else do you say? Like we're on brand at this point. I was joking at the end of the game. Coach Dillingham's wife, Bree, we usually get together, Dr. Crow, Bree, myself, at the end of the game, and asked Bree, do we need to get Kenny a voodoo doll for Christmas? Like let's take this stress and anxiety out before the game starts. And then he came up and he's joking about the same thing. So that's just how we roll, keep it exciting at the end. It's good for ratings. It's good to keep the crowd engaged. The crowd helps us, obviously, when the energy's that high in the football stadium. But these guys they deliver. They show up, they deliver the resiliency, next man up mentality, and they make plays. It's just it's a cool thing to see week by week. A lot of fun.
There's something to be said, too, in terms of teams that have been in close games before and found ways to win. Clearly, that group has that it factor, and it shows week after week. And it's not always the prettiest. It might not be exactly what fans want, but fans should just want wins. And that's happened more times than not. Now 7-3, and still everything in play in terms of the ultimate goals of getting back to Arlington for the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. Be in a position to compete for a conference championship, a chance to play in that game, and we're right there once again. And a lot of similarities. You look up to where we were this time last year and needed to win out. We had some big games at the end of last year. Same thing holds true this year. Need a little bit of help around the league. Ironically, our friends down south gave us a big help in kind of some of the tiebreaker scenarios. So that was helpful. But bottom line, we got to control our destiny. We got to show up to Boulder this weekend, take care of business on the road. And I know the guys have been focused all week on that goal. It all starts there. It all starts with a win on Saturday. The rest will take care of itself.
The story about Jeff Sims, I know we did the show last week in front of the Jersey, which is still in the Hall of Fame as we speak, as we're recording this, but another really good game for Sims. And to be able to do it at home, which he hadn't really had the opportunity to do in now being the starting quarterback, and to do so on a final drive to put his team into field goal range, he was excellent throughout that entire game. As you said, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, and just continuing to show that he's shining when given that opportunity.
Yeah, it's great that he's taken advantage of the moment that he's in. He stayed ready to play so he could contribute, knowing that he would get a chance at some point, and he is. And it's obviously a credit to our coaching staff, but it's also a really good sign for recruiting of how our coaches just get players ready to play. And obviously the starters get a lot of the attention. They're the ones contributing week in and week out. But that group that's waiting for their chance, if there's an injury, if there's an opportunity to get in the lineup and contribute, and Jeff is showing that the coaching staff gets players ready to play in this program. Time and time we've seen that again. And that next man up mentality has benefited us these last 2 seasons. And that's the sign of a great team. That's a sign of a great culture. And it's a really good credit to our coaching staff and all the people in football that are getting these guys ready to play week in and week out. And so for a guy to be, now our starter the rest of the way, and to get that confidence and to get the fan base confidence behind him as the leader in the program, it's a great thing to witness. And really happy that Jeff is earning every opportunity that he's gotten. He will continue to earn that. He's going to play his way into Sunday, which is a cool part of this story. And his sky is yet to be defined as well, but man, he's been great in the moment where we needed him. Sam's recovering well. That's great to hear. But Jeff has stepped up in a big moment for the program and keeps doing his thing.
It's a testament to the culture with the injuries that this program has had to endure this year to still be where they are, 7-3, 5-2 in Big 12 play, and like we just said, with everything still to play for, just take care of winning on the field and that next opportunity Saturday at 6 p.m. in Boulder against Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. First time these two programs have met since Coach Dillingham's first year back in Tempe. So a wonderful opportunity on the road for football, and everything's still to play for. It's very exciting to be around this program still at this time.
Yeah, it's fun. We're ESPN2 Saturday night, so easy way to watch the game for everybody here in the Valley, and can't wait to get up there. I've not been on that campus before, so I'm excited to get up and see Boulder for the first time.
Boulder's beautiful. You know what else is beautiful? Hawaii. There's another tie-in. I'm really just trying to work this thing. But off to Honolulu for men's basketball after they picked up a win on Monday night against Georgia State. Suffered their first setback against Gonzaga over the weekend, but bounced back after having to face some adversity against Georgia State. It was a classic trap game, if you will, with trailing at halftime. Ultimately came back at the end. Mo Odom, Pig Johnson really spark-plugged that comeback, and now a chance for Bobby Hurley and company to compete against Hawaii on Thursday, and then, of course, into the Maui Invitational, which has been looked forward to for a long time, and a really solid opportunity for this program to try to turn some heads over the next week.
Yeah, and going into the road trip with momentum. There was a headline this morning. It really bothered me. Somebody managed ASU narrowly escapes the opponent last night, and I was like, that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, that was a 12-point win when it was all said and done. Mo Odom put the team on his back. There were so many more productive and positive storylines with the game that took place against Georgia State, and it bothered me. And this is a program that's figuring it out real time. And Gonzaga was a great test, but for portions of that Gonzaga game, they were right there, playing hard, playing tough, and took care of business against Georgia State. Like you said, not maybe coming off playing what should be a top 10 team. Gonzaga was terrific, and number 19 doesn't really reflect how good they were. And then going on the road, Maui Invitational next week, a game against Hawaii later this week. Really good opportunities to continue to grow as a program, grow as a team. And so narrowly escaping didn't really seem to describe what I saw last night in the arena. And I saw Mo Odom post game with a very impassioned remark of holding the team accountable and being a leader and challenging guys at halftime to say, hey, we got to step up. We're more talented than we're playing. We got to come together as a team. And then they went off in that second half. And, Pig Johnson with some highlight plays. Hassan Majab doing just like, again, his own human highlight reel. Mo Odom continuing to show that he's got these incredible leadership qualities on the court. And a group of guys that just plays for each other. Say what you will about what people expect out of this program. These guys play for each other. They love being Sun Devils. They're competing hard. And I can't wait to see what they do. It's been fun. It's been fun these first 4 games to see these guys come together, and it's entertaining basketball. They're having some success, and we want to continue to see this build.
It was a 20-1 run, by the way, so they clearly outplayed Georgia State.
Yeah, narrowly escaped it. So,
they outscored Georgia State in a big way in the second half. But I think you're right, just echoing that. Watching these games so far, they play hard, they're playing together, and they're holding each other accountable when things aren't going well. There's 14 newcomers on the team. You got to expect some growing pains as time goes on.
Yeah, it's early in the season, and a great colleague of ours, Don Bakke, in the Sun Devil Athletics Hall of Fame, used to always point out, he's like, hey, they have scholarships too, right? We're competing in Division I college athletics. There's going to be close games. There's going to be tight matchups. They have talented players as well. It's the youngest team in Division I basketball that played a very tough road game in the Big 12 and competed. And so proud of our guys. Did what they had to do, came together in the right moment. Win by 12 doesn't feel like narrowly escaping, but we're on to Hawaii. So
whatever, off to the islands.
Off to the next.
Where Jeff Munn gets to soak up the sun. Hopefully he brought his SPF. And Jeff Munn will be enjoying the calls on the Sun Devil Radio Network for the next 10 days. Tough job for Munn, but we wish you the best. And aloha to you. Off now to women's basketball. Jeff Munn will not be with women's basketball this weekend, but they are 4-0 as they had a great swing to California over the weekend, took care of San Diego, and as well as Santa Clara. Molly Miller got her 300th win in her coaching career, and a picture-perfect start to her Sun Devil tenure with a 4-0 record to start.
Yeah, again, really excited about the start that we're seeing on the women's side as well, and 4-0 out the gate. Same thing, new team coming together, mostly new faces on this roster and coming together as a unit. And you could practice all you want over the summer and early part of the fall, but there's no replacement for game situations and learning each other's tendencies and how people rise to the occasion in competitive setting like that. But really cool on the road, in San Diego and then up in the Bay Area at Santa Clara, a noticeable ASU presence in both our alumni chapters. We're dialed into that. Shout out to Eddie Duvall, who's a great friend of the department. Lives in Orange County and was able to organize that. Chris Garrett, football letter winner, who's up in the Bay Area. His son actually plays soccer at Santa Clara, so he was able to help organize a group of Sun Devils in Northern California to be in the gym in support of it. And they're coming back with 2 wins. So really, really fun 4-0 start for Molly and the women's, and congrats on the 300th win. That was a neat moment to celebrate on the head coaching group text, and our social media team had some fun. There's a great graphic that we did for that as well. And so, both programs off to great starts. Really, really exciting out the gate.
And her team congratulated her in a big way as well. There was water flying everywhere in the locker room afterwards. After that Santa Clara game, by the way, just a couple of shout-outs. Gabby Elliott with an unreal stat line, 20 points, 16 rebounds against Santa Clara. Yep. In that same game, McKenna Brackens with 23 and 11. So a couple of double-doubles in that game, and what was a hard-fought win for the Sun Devils on the road. They take on UNLV on Saturday, 2 p.m. It's the first of 2 games. It'll be the Thanksgiving food drive, but it also is an opportunity for Arizona State to test themselves against a UNLV program that has been solid in the women's ranks over the last few years. They've been a perennial contender for the NCAA tournament. So good to be back at home over the weekend. Because football's at 6 o'clock, you can easily catch both.
Absolutely.
On Saturday. So come support this women's basketball team. Because
are you on the call?
I'm not. I'll be out of town this weekend. So
wow.
Wedding,
NBA guy, right?
Wedding duties.
Oh, wedding. Okay.
Yeah. Not yeah. Nothing work related.
Got to keep our guy humble over here.
You do a great job of it. Off to volleyball now, where we said on last week's show it was the biggest week of the year to boot. Volleyball answered as they do. Couple of wins. A 4-set win where the crowd was off the charts, record-breaking crowd against Arizona. And then they go up to Boulder and win a absolute thriller against Colorado in 5 sets. They ended on a 5-0 scoring run. Noemi Glover had 31 kills, which is a program record. And now they're starting to close in again on another Big 12 title, hopefully.
Not ready to go there yet, but trending in a good direction.
Okay.
Last week, as you mentioned, was huge, and again, shout out to our fans for that crowd. Hopefully, we've got some B-roll we can layer on of the crowd last Wednesday against U of A. U of A played great, and give them a lot of credit. They've really progressed as a program this year. It's nice that we were able to win both the game in Tucson and then certainly in front of the home crowd, record-setting home crowd, which was awesome. And then, quick trip the next morning up to Boulder, playing in altitude, playing in a unique configuration in that arena. I've been told, and so 5 sets on the road, always nice to come home with a win and a happy flight back to the Valley. And so on the road this week and then get to finish up at home. And hopefully, if this progresses, trying to get tournament volleyball back in the Valley for planning purposes. So, those first couple weeks of December could be a lot of fun around the Tempe campus here.
I have a stink to raise, not that I have the pulpit to do so, but number 9 now in the polls, so ASU dropped. They're number 3 in RPI.
Yep.
Not quite sure what's going on there. But
I think the RPI at this point of the year, polls are great, and we obviously want to be relevant in the top 25, but when you're playing for the chance to host the tournament, certainly get in the tournament, but hopefully a chance to host, that RPI is a really good indicator, sitting top 5. And that was a good thing to see this week. So polls are polls. Happy to be in the top 10. That's always something that we'll celebrate. But that number 3 next to the RPI was a really, really good thing to see this week.
And I'm glad both were tweeted out, because I saw number 9. I was like, what's going on? I saw number 3. I agree.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
This is kind of an airing of grievances show, right? Like, this is cathartic.
Yeah.
Just get it off the chest a little bit.
Festivus is looming.
Okay.
It's not too far away.
All right. We're surrounded by the Sun Devil faithful, so this is a safe place to kind of say what's on our mind. And
we got to go good vibes. You're right, though. There's
Good
dark
vibes.
clouds outside today. I think maybe it's just bringing the mood down. I don't know.
Right.
Wednesday at UCF for volleyball. Friday at Houston, now 2-game lead over Kansas, who's in second place in the Big 12. Graham's not ready to say it yet. I won't either. I don't want to jinx anything. Just keep winning. Good things will happen.
Yep, that's simple as that.
Okay. On to hockey now, where it was another great weekend at Mullet Arena in a split against one of the best teams in the country, who stayed every single week in this conference in the NCHC. Number 6 North Dakota was in town. A 4-2 win on Saturday after dropping the opener of the series. And how about Connor Hasley with 39 saves on Saturday? He was excellent in what was really a not a must win, but a really big game for ASU and getting back on the winning side of things.
Yeah, really tough environment to play in as a road team. Arguably one of the greatest fan bases in college hockey. North Dakota fans travel everywhere, and we saw that last February when we played at Mullet. There was a North Dakota takeover, and it's pretty cool to see a fan base that passionate, that they travel all over. We've played them in Vegas before and T-Mobile Arena and have saw the presence there, and so to go play a top 10 team in their barn on their campus and come away with a win Saturday night. Split on the road is typically the mindset. You're playing a top 10 team, that's an even harder assignment. And so to come back after the big win Saturday night, what can you say about Connor and what he did? That's an absolutely incredible performance. And they're in the heart of a really thick stretch of that schedule right now, and you get to come home and play Denver. So congrats, and nice to have more. Again, credit to the NCHC. We've said a lot on this show. Best hockey conference in America. We're seeing that out the gate with Colorado College ranked, North Dakota top 10, Denver I think is still in the top 10, and so really good test out the gate. And again, for a young team, once again, bunch of new athletes coming to ASU, coming together for the first time. There's growth and progression that happens in these moments, and you never like to have that learning curve happen in front of the visibility of a game day or a broadcast or a fan base. But in our eyes, there's a lot of benefit to being in these kind of situations early in the season that helps them come together, helps them grow, helps the coaches reinforce a lot of the things during the week in practice and be more prepared week after week as they compete. So, proud of what they did up on, again, tough road environment. Excited to get them home for the next couple of weeks before a holiday break and keep progressing in our hockey program.
Error on the host, by the way. I don't know why I said in Tempe. I knew it was on the road. Sorry about that. They're at home this week, though.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Well,
okay.
I'll correct myself. We're honest on this program.
All
We
right.
have ethics. But they are at home this weekend, and that's what is important. Friday, 7 o'clock, Saturday, 5 in Tempe, number 3, Denver. Last year, that developed into a pretty fun little rivalry.
Yep.
In the NCHC, obviously another opportunity to not only pick up some wins on home ice, but try to take it to Denver a little bit as well. It's turned into a fun little series, even dating back to before the Devils were in the NCHC.
That's
so
right.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, there have been headlines about this program behind us, the men's golf program. Fifa Laopakdee will join us in a moment, but first, head coach Matt Thurmond, he joins us on the program when we come back. Back here on Sun Devil Extra, joined now by our first guest of the program. He's a returning guest. He's one of the better coaches at this university in any sport. Matt Thurmond, in his 10th year at the helm of Sun Devil Men's Golf, joins us. Coach, how are you?
Great. Yeah, feeling good. It's our off season, so I'm as relaxed as I'll ever be.
I wanted to ask you about that. Fall season now over with. You've still got about a month, 2 months, I guess, until that first tournament in the spring season coming up. What is this time like for you and the student athletes as well?
Golfers are year-round,
Yeah.
so their summers and my summers are busy. We go from January basically till the end of October nonstop. So this is that time where I catch my breath and like I said, I'm probably a lot more pleasant to be around and relaxed and hopefully physically and mentally getting myself where I need to be.
Let's talk about someone who's definitely in the place where he needs to be. He's going to be our guest right after you're on with us, Fifa Laopakdee, who turned a lot of heads with what he did in Dubai in qualifying for the Masters and the Open with his success on the course. But I'm curious, coaching him, being a mentor to him, what's it been like for you to see his growth and maturity and obviously his success as well?
Well, it's awesome. That's what you love more than anything as a coach, is to see them succeed at the highest level. Fifa was a great recruit and somebody I really care a lot about. And he had a little bit of a slow start here. He was injured his freshman year, sophomore year, had a little bit of a slow start. And like most people that do great things, it kind of comes through the most difficult times. He was struggling a little bit and kind of had to reprove himself over and over. And when he kind of battled through those toughest times is when he really thrived. And so his last year has been amazing. And it's fun to see him smiling. He was smiling all the time anyway, but fun to see him accomplishing big things.
It's not just FIFA, but any player. And I know you've been vocal about this on social media, but anyone that's played golf knows this. You're going to go through slumps.
Yeah.
It is a game of slumps. And to help your players find themselves through that and get them out on the other side. You've obviously been doing this a long time. How, I guess, gratifying is that when it finally does click again for these extremely talented players when they get out of that slump and find the other side?
Yeah, the thing about slumps is they're real opportunities to learn. Usually what you find in yourself and learn about yourself in those times that only adversity and difficulty can draw those things out. Like when we're prospering, when everything's going well, we don't really search deep into our soul very often and critique ourselves. But when you're getting kicked around and life's tough, you make changes, and that's the coolest part. Is so there's going to be these dips, but they use almost every person who's a champion ends up rising higher every time. So it's a real skill to be able to handle that stuff. And as a coach, that's, that process is fun for us to help them. We try to create an environment where even if they are struggling a little bit, they're still happy, they're still learning, and they're still growing, so that they can sustain in those difficult times.
Tell you what, fans, follow the Sun Devil men's golf Instagram, also coach as well. Had a video up about the 3 Ds. I'm literally going to watch that before I go play my next round. But seriously, great stuff on the social media channels as well. I'm curious, Coach, just into the spring season, where you guys are looking as a program, trying to return to the tournament and obviously have success this year in the end-all, be-all of the national championship run. How do you think this team is shaping up? Obviously, we mentioned Fifa already and what he's done, but the team as a whole, how do you like your group?
I'm really enjoying this group. On paper, it may have at the beginning of the year looked like it could be a year with a little less talent. We haven't been as deep, not a smaller roster. We lost superstar talent, a lot of it in the last couple of years. And so it felt like a year that we were going to sneak up on people, be a very humble, quiet year that we just slowly keep getting better, and then by the end we're actually really good. It didn't really turn out that way because we came out and won our first 2 tournaments, and all of a sudden we're ranked number 1 or number 2 in the country, and like, oh crap, here we are again. We actually struggled a little down the stretch in the fall for a variety of reasons. It wasn't terrible, but we dropped to number 7 in the rankings. We're like, okay, if we're not really sharp, we're gonna get beat. So that's the thing about this team. It's a humble group. They like to work. They like to do the dirty work, and I think we're just gonna keep getting better all the time, and we have an awesome lineup, very talented, and I think we have a chance to win it just like any other year for us.
I'm curious, you mentioned not quite ending the best way in the fall, but obviously it's a long way from your ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You as a coach, do you ever view that as maybe a blessing in disguise to refocus the guys? I know you said they're a humble group, but still, not to be number 1, number 2, have something else to strive for into the spring as well?
Yeah, everyone responds to success and failure in different but somewhat predictable ways. It's easy to lose your edge, lose your focus sometimes when things come easy. Yeah. So for us to have a couple rough tournaments in a row, we've had really good conversations with each guy on the team about where they need to improve and work on, and they're highly motivated to fix things and improve things. And so in that sense, having a little bit of a limp at the end of the year fall season sets a nice tone for the off season, which I think is where our guys are. They've been going over their goals and their plans, and they're really sharp and focused right now.
I'm going to ask Fifa the same question about having someone like Jose Lay still around, still around the facility, still practicing there, obviously being able to provide him with guidance into the majors he'll participate in, but really for everyone on your team. Just how valuable is that? So many great alums in this program. We've talked about him so many times before, but someone that's fresh out of it, fresh into the pro circuit. How does that help?
Well, especially for FIFA, Jose Lay is going to be able to give him some advice about Augusta.
Yeah.
That'll be helpful, and I know he might even let him borrow a hat. Because Jose Lay can give FIFA a lot of good advice. Jose Lay is amazing, right? He was a 4-time All-American, one of our few, and he loves being at the Bird. He loves being around the guys, and he's a great teacher. He has a big heart and loves to coach and help others. So he's had a lot of cool experiences since he left in this short time, and he can share those things, but also share what made him who he is. And we love having him around, and we're thankful that we have an environment where our alums like to hang. Yeah,
it's a special bond between the alums of the current program and clearly success all around, right? It's been breeding success for years and years. He's a big reason why. Matt Thurmond joining us on the program. Fifa will be joining us. Coach, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
We'll be right back on Sun Devil Extra. Welcome back to Sun Devil Extra. Our next guest is a name you've heard before, but you're going to want to continue to remember it moving forward. Fifa Laopakdee joining us on the program now, a junior on the ASU men's golf team representing Thailand, of course. First off, Fifa, congrats on all the recent success. We'll dive into that in a moment. But how has kind of the last few months been for you, experiencing so many highs?
I mean, if you're talking about the win in Dubai, it's pretty hectic, I would say, because all this meteors and all this. I have to do all these meetings, all these interviews, all these podcasts with so many people from around the world. It's like a new life, But it's been a few weeks by. I'm still trying to soak it in with that win. It's one of the biggest wins of my life, and all the opportunity ahead of me. I'm pretty excited for it.
You mentioned that win in Dubai, and that is one of the main reasons you're here talking to us today, another interview, and I apologize for that, by the way. But the Asia Pacific Amateurs is a massive tournament. You're the first person from Thailand to win that tournament. So I'm curious for you, first off, what did that mean to represent your country in that kind of a stage? And then also maybe some of the feedback you've heard back in your home country as well after you pulled that off.
Yeah, it's mean the whole world to me, to be the first Thai person to win Asia Pacific. I mean, I've been talking about this for a long time. I've been with the Thailand national team since I was 13. I've been knowing this event for a long time, and I always talk to my coach, both Coach Thurmond and my coach back in Thailand, that I will win this event one day. I will play in the Masters one day, and to finally did it, and it's such an amazing feeling, and all these Thai fans is what I gained so much after the win, and all the support I got from all my Thai fans or other countries, it just so, it's just make me so much happy.
Yeah. I'm curious, you mentioned, you've kind of been manifesting this for a while, that you were going to win this tournament, you were going to qualify for the Masters. Was there a moment maybe down the stretch in the tournament or in the couple days after you had officially won where it kind of sank in that I'm going to be in the Open, I'm going to be in the Masters, this is now going to happen? Has that sunk in yet?
To be honest, not fully yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I won that night, I was just to talk to my buddy, my caddy. He's like, "Oh my God, we're going to the Master, the Open." I can't even believe it. And till this day, I'm still trying to soak it in, all of them. Not fully yet, but it's gonna fully soak in one day.
I'm curious, being around golf your whole life, I'm sure you have favorite memories of watching the Masters and the Open. Now that you're going to be competing in it, it's going to hopefully be firsthand experiences that are your favorite memories. But at this point right now, what are those favorite memories you can kind of reflect on growing up watching those two major tournaments?
I think the Masters, the first event I ever watched on TV with my dad, probably on the couch, when I was so I could remember, 4 or 5 years old.
Sure.
So it's, I think the Masters is the event that got me into golf. As well as Tiger Woods. At that time, he was kind of dominating the whole golf world, and I just talked to my dad. Yeah, I want to be like him one day. He's very inspirational, and I've been watching the Master and the Open almost every year after that, and being able to follow the footsteps along with Tiger Woods and all those world-class guys, top guys is just amazing.
Doing prep on this, obviously there's so much talk about what you pulled off in Dubai, but it seems like things really started to turn for you in the spring, right? Your performance in Hawaii, the response from coach, and then what you did in Cabo as well. Can you kind of take us through what jump-started that run you've now been able to carry on into the fall as well?
I have a really tough stretch starting last fall, and I didn't play good. I didn't make the lineup last fall at all. It was full of doubts and no super low confidence in myself, and I was hoping to do better in the spring, but then the first event came in Hawaii, didn't do too well, and I was very stressful. To be honest with you, I remember I was crying on the plane. Coming back from Hawaii to Phoenix, and but then we have a talk with Coach Thurmond, Coach Thomas, that they still fully believe in me, even though I was at my lowest, and and then they put me into a very intense, qualifiers with my teammates and intense practicing, and then the win at Cabo was the whole change. I gained so much more confidence. Being able to get back to the winner's circle. It's just a huge breaking point for me.
Yeah.
And after that, just keep all those confidence and all those, the practice, the intense practice, and the mindset I use at Cabo to continuing until today. It's just been working perfect. Not perfect, but it's been working well for me.
I'm curious, just to follow up on that, you mentioned the emotional stretch after your struggles, and golf is such a mental game.
Yeah.
Even if you played it at a semi-pro level, it is extremely challenging mentally. How much did it mean to you to get that full backing from your coaching staff and them say they still fully believe in you, even when maybe you were doubting yourself a little bit?
I can say this, man. Like I probably won't be where I am right now without Coach Thurmond and Coach Thomas. I mean, they play a huge role in my life since I come to ASU. To have those people who always have your back when you're at your lowest is just, it's just amazing. They all been through all my ups and downs. They're being off my my footsteps since I come to ASU, and to have those people who trust you at that time in your life, it just means the whole world to me. And and now I'm being at the top now, and they still I just can't thank, I'm super grateful. I can't thank them enough.
It's really special to see and awesome that you're giving flowers back to them. And I know, in talking to Coach Thurmond as well, he feels the exact same way about you and the impact you've had on this program. One more question for you in terms of being at a program where so many players have had so much success, and specifically just a year ago, Josele, and what he was able to do, obviously playing in the Masters as well. Is that someone you're going to talk to a lot in preparation for Augusta?
Yeah.
And just what he kind of went through?
Yeah, I've been talking to him a lot lately. He still comes and practice at our facility, and I've been talking to him almost. Asked him. I told him after the win that I might need to ask you a lot of questions, and he just laughed. And it's been great. He's been such a helpful guidance for me. He never hesitated to answer as many questions that I asked. And he's been such a great teammate when I was with him for 2 years, and he's such an inspirational guy. He's very good at golf, but a better person. Yeah.
FIFA, on behalf of our show, congrats on the success. It's been awesome to watch your rise to prominence in the game, and obviously that's only going to continue. So best of luck moving forward into the college season, and then obviously playing in the majors as well. Fifa Laopakdee. Remember the name, folks. He is well on his way to being another star. It's on the whole company. We'll have to wrap things up with Graham Rossini when we come back. Back here on Sun Devil Extra, Braden Bell joined alongside ASU AD Graham Rossini yet again. Welcome back to the chair, Graham, and plenty more to talk about on the program today. First off, big thank you to the men's golf program. I don't know about you, but I can't wait. I always love watching the Masters, of course. But to see FIFA, see one of our own for a second straight year like Josele last year, competing in the Masters is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool to see him Friday night at the Gonzaga game, as you mentioned, and the medal was significant. And he nailed the crowd wave. That was a cool moment, making sure that the rest of the fan base can see what a talent he is. And these exemptions that he gets to go out and play in these world-famous golf events next year is pretty cool. And that's the quality of program here at ASU, both men's and women's. And really proud of FIFA. That was cool to see.
His roommate is his caddy, by the way. His caddy will probably remain the same, FIFA said right after his interview.
Takes the
for
team.
The Masters. Pretty awesome.
That's cool.
To get that opportunity. On to wrestling now, where Zeke Jones and company will have their home debut in the season, and it's a big one. Sunday, 1 p.m. against Oklahoma State. They're always a good program in the Big 12, of course, and an opportunity for the wrestling team to get some love. So go out, support on Sunday. Caleb Larkin has been going viral with what he did over the weekend in Tulsa. We told you about that tournament last week. That's a Sun Devil legacy wrestler, and man, he's looking like a stud.
The Larkin family pipeline has a chance to be very strong for the Sun Devils in the coming years. Caleb's not the only one, and that's a clash of the Titans, as you mentioned. So, ASU, Oklahoma State competing. It's going to be an awesome dual meet, and excited to get them back home as well. They've been on the road to start the season, and nice to get them back here in Tempe. Yeah,
it's a big one. So again, Sunday, 1 p.m. Make sure you're out there. This program, they deserve your support. One of the better historical programs around this athletics department with success they've had really over the last few decades now. Speaking of a legacy successful program, at least over the past decade or so, men's and women's swim and dive, I should say, they're in Knoxville this weekend as well. So good luck to them competing on the Power 4 dual meet. So more love now beyond our great teams, but back to the fan base. Sellout streak now is at 6. I was wondering, BYU last year at the end of the year, I think that was sold out too. So really, we could say 7.
Yeah, that's
dating
right.
back to last year. But
That's true.
all 6 home games this year have been sold out. Obviously, assuming the U of A one will be as well, that would be a perfect season for the fan base. So hats off to Sun Devil Nation for showing off again over the weekend for an 11 a.m. game against West Virginia. But I know it takes a village to put this together, not just with attendance, but beyond to support Sun Devil athletics.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing, the fan turnout. I know Coach was able to talk on that in his press conference on Monday of just unbelievable atmosphere that we've seen week by week, dating back to the end of last year where the crowds were really showing up. And there was that call to arms last year about making Mountain America Stadium the place to be in the fall. Where else would you want to be on a Saturday in the fall other than watching Sun Devil football? And like we talk about every week, the players feeding off the fan base, the energy from the student section, it is palpable, it is real. It's making Tempe and the Sun Devils at Mountain America Stadium a very, very tough place to come into. I was able to catch Ren Baker, my counterpart, right after the game, and came up and gave me a hug, said congrats. He's like, hey, this crowd was amazing. And just, congrats on what's happening here in Tempe. It's his first time on campus as a member of the Big 12. And so that was nice to hear. And yeah, it's been great to see. And now the call is that next part of B2B NIL and really making sure that the local business community can understand the simple way to connect with our athletes through NIL. We're relevant in scholarships, we're relevant in rev share, maxing out both of those on behalf of our athletes. Our separator for talent, both recruiting and retaining, has got a chance to be through our business community. And so the sunangels.org has got info on the Sun Angel Network. It's our new B2B platform. There's a lot of media interest around that this week as we get towards the end of the regular season. And the concept of the transfer portal peaks back up and making sure that these great young men competing as Sun Devils feel that love. And more importantly, a business gets the benefit of a Sun Devil athlete promoting their business product or service. I think there's a true and very inexpensive ROI to that. And again, the enrichment that company provides for an athlete that, again, is grinding every day on behalf of our fan base, on behalf of our department. And so for them to get resume experience and build a network and get some enrichment alongside what they learn in the classroom, what a cool thing to be able to provide for our student athletes here at ASU.
It's sunangels.org, correct?
Sunangels.org, the Sun Angel Network. It's a way that our collective can stay relevant, connecting businesses to athletes, and a really important tool for us at this time.
A true all caps win-win situation.
Yeah, no doubt.
For the community, for our student athletes, it seems like a no-brainer to me if you're a local business owner for sure.
Yep.
Great stuff. And again, phenomenal atmosphere so far. Hopefully that continues into the U of A game. Hopefully not too much red and blue in the stadium. I don't think there will be
Right.
Black Friday night. Let's make it maroon and gold, of course. Now time for our final segment of the day. And as always, it is our Sun Devil for Life of the week. Graham, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring back to swim and dive. We got a great picture behind Braden here. We talked about them heading to Knoxville later this week. Got to see Melissa Belody Ripley, a great Olympian, great alum, was part of a team in the late 70s. Everybody was an All-American. She was at the homecoming parade, and so it was good to see her and give her a big hug. Just lost her husband, Rich, who was a staple in the Valley, a longtime executive with the Fiesta Bowl, and so was able to offer some condolences, give her a hug, and she always has a smile on her face. And she said, Rich would want me to be here. And so I'm here to support him, and obviously he was looking down on the Sun Devils on Saturday. So, the weather held off. We had a great homecoming parade, really festive vibe around Tempe here on the campus, and then a big Sun Devil win against West Virginia. So thinking a lot about Melissa and her family at this time, but also always great to tell her story and everything that she means for us here at ASU.
Absolutely. And well said by you, and awesome that she was still coming out,
Yep.
going through a tough time right now. So.
Yep.
Our condolences sent to Melissa as well. Well, that just about does it for this episode of Sun Devil Extra. Of course, a big weekend, football in Boulder, but plenty of home events, women's basketball, wrestling, getting going in Tempe this weekend. So be sure to follow along on social channels. Next week, Thanksgiving. So also the Territorial Cup, of course. Not sure if we're going to do a show or not. We'll talk about that off air. But Stay tuned on the social channels. And if we do have a show, see you next week. If not, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the end of college football regular season. We'll talk to you real soon on Sun Devil Extra.